All right, so we're going to work on glide reflections in this video. So we've got a new type of transformation. A glide reflection is the composition of a reflection followed by a translation that is parallel to the line of reflection. So these are specific transformations. One involves a reflection. The other one involves a translation that runs parallel to the reflection line. I'm gonna write, I don't know if this is what makes sense to me, so or vice versa. So what I mean by that is the composition could start with the translation that runs parallel to the line of reflection, follow, followed by the reflection. So it's basically a translation and a reflection. You could do the translation first, the reflection second, or the reflection first and the translation second. As long as it's those two transformations and your translation is parallel to the line of reflection, that's what we call a glide reflection. So in example 2, what composition of two rigid motions maps triangle ABC to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime? So remember, this is our pre-image, and here is our resulting image, and it went through two rigid motions to do this. Sometimes when you have to figure out these transformations yourself, working backwards can help out. So if I figure out, especially if there's more than one transformation involved, if this is where I ended, how can I get back to this spot? So what I notice is, I think that this got translated. What if I moved this up? So if I took that and I moved it up so everything was in line horizontally. So B prime, I want, maybe I'll call this B double prime, just kind of our middle one right there. I want that to be in line with B. So all I did was I moved it up however many units. I'm going to do the same thing with C. I'm going to move it up so it's in line with the C. So I'm starting with a translation. And I'm just going to call that double prime again, just so it's different than how these are labeled. And then with the A, let's move the A up so it's in line with the other A. And all we're doing is a vertical translation. So we did a translation right now. Maybe we'll write it out in words first. So the translation, we moved 5 units vertically. Okay, so now how can we get our blue triangle mapped onto our starting triangle? One thing that you can notice is if you follow the vertices, so A, B, C, if I go in order, see how A to B to C is a clockwise order right here? If I go A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, see how I'm going in the opposite direction? If that happens with the order of your vertices, that means that there is a reflection. So that's one easy way. Sometimes you can just visually see reflections, but if you weren't sure, just say, all right, A to B to C goes this way. If A double prime to B double prime to C double prime goes in the opposite direction, that is a reflection. Now to find the line of reflection, the line of reflection is going to be halfway between each corresponding point. So it's going to be halfway between B and B double prime. So I'm going to count the spaces between. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Half of 4 is 2, so if I go 2 over, that's where the line of reflection will be. I'm going to go ahead and draw in that line of reflection. You can draw it solid or dotted, doesn't really matter. And that line, because it's crossing through the x-axis, is x equals -1. Let's just double check that we agree that is a reflection line for the other points as well. So C and C prime, if I go from C to my line of reflection, is 2 units away. C double prime is 2 units away. A is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away from the line of reflection. And A double prime is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got our line of reflection. We're showing that with each vertice of our triangle, each vertex of our triangle. So we had a translation that moved 5 units vertically, and then we had a reflection over the line x equals -1. So, is this a glide reflection? Did we do a reflection across a line? We did. There's our reflection. And then was the translation parallel to the line of reflection? So see how we had this triangle and it just moved down to land. The red is our final image right here. That's running parallel to the line of reflection. So this is what a glide reflection could look like. So to write the rule for this, or the composition of this, we have a translation and a reflection. Which one do we write first, or what's the order of this? So what we need to keep in mind is we started with our pre-image. The first thing was it reflected across this line of x equals -1. So I'm going to write out that we had a reflection. I'm going to call that line N, and I'm going to define that line N is x equals -1. That'll be part of our composition rule. So the reflection of line N, and after that, so I'm going to go to the left. There's my open circle for composition. Remember, whatever transformation you do first gets written second in the composition. After that, we took this and we moved each point down 5 units. Is that a movement of the x's or of the y's? So that translation is moving the y units, the y values down 5 units. So it's a translation. The x's did not change. So we had 0 movement for the x's, but we went down 5 for the y's. So our composition is we did a translation of 5 units down of the reflected transformation of the original triangle ABC. So this composition will result in triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. That is the red triangle right here. And then we do just want to put as part of our rule where, ooh, I don't know what that is. Where line N is x equals -1. And this is our composition. And this is a glide reflection.